Hey all, welcome back to Awful Stories. I'm Matt, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe for daily videos. The first story we're going to cover is titled AITA for not answering the door when my ex's mom showed up at my apartment unannounced. This was posted to the AITA subreddit by a user named Jock Sarai. This happened a couple of years ago, but I was talking about crazy mother-in-law stories with a friend, and she thinks I was in the wrong. I have sole custody of my children. My ex and his family live about a 9-hour drive from me. One day, around 9 a.m., there was knocking on my bedroom window. I peeked through the bottom of the blinds and just saw a pair of women's sneakers. Then I peeked higher and made eye contact with my ex's mom. All I could think was, what is going on? The apartments where I live are not gated, so anyone can drive onto the property, but you can't enter buildings without a key. This means my ex's mom couldn't knock on my door because she couldn't enter my building. Anyway, now that she's seen me, I got dressed and went to see why she was there. The only reason she has my address is because, a few months back, she asked to mail some things for the kids, and I gave her my address. She told me she was in the neighborhood. I asked her why she didn't call me before arriving, and she said it was a last minute decision. I let her in and she saw the kids for a bit. When she left, I told her that next time she needs to give me a heads up before arriving, and I'm not talking about 10 minutes. I need at least a week's notice. So, this is where I might be in the wrong. About 4 months later, she pulls this stunt again. When I hear tapping on my window, I know exactly who it is. I didn't bother looking out the window. She started calling me. After the fifth call, I answered. She told me to open up because she wanted to see the kids. I was like, "What? I'm not even home. Why didn't you tell me you were coming?" I was 45 minutes away visiting my dad with the kids. She demanded my dad's address. I refused to give it to her. I told her I had no idea when I'd be home. Yes, complete lie. Anyway, she didn't believe me. She thought I was home and again said it was a last minute decision. I hung up on her and I started getting texts from my ex demanding that I let his mom see the kids. I told him what I told her. I'm not home. Imagine my surprise when I heard the police banging on my door a few minutes later. I didn't answer. I got a call from a random number. It was a police officer. He said he was there to perform a wellness check because my ex's mom hadn't heard from me in 3 days and was extremely worried. He also said it was illegal not to answer the door when a police officer knocks. I told him she was lying. I had just spoken to her on the phone. She had showed up unannounced. I made it clear to her not to do that, and I was out with family. I didn't need to come back just because she showed up unannounced. She is my ex's mom, and I don't have to talk to her. After the phone call, I got a text from my ex calling me rude and saying how hard would it have been to let his mom see the kids when she drove all the way there just to see them. I want to make it clear, I don't mind her visiting. I don't mind her being around my kids, but I can't stand her showing up unannounced and demanding to see my kids like that. It was like she was on a weird power trip. Where were the adults said, NTA? She involved the police against you, so she no longer gets a place in your life. The next time she tries to contact you, just remind her. You called the police on me. If she tries to change the subject, repeat. You lied to the police. Continue to reinforce that point. Your ex should get the same explanation. She called the police on me and lied to them. That is not safe behavior. 16 Bunny said. She was on a strange power trip. Same with your ex. The whole calling the police situation confirmed that. You're not in the wrong. It's best to keep away from your ex and his difficult mother. If you can, I would consider moving so she no longer knows where you live. Any visitation your ex has can be in a neutral place. The second story for today is titled, Found Out That My Fiance Had an Erotic Massage and a Hand Job at His Bachelor Party. Our wedding is in 2 weeks. This was posted to the Relationship Advice subreddit by a user named Red Cabbage. Hi all, I'm turning to you because I have no one else who can give me honest and unbiased advice about my situation. We have been together since our early 20s. He had his bachelor party this weekend and went out of town with his friends. I never had any trust issues or reasons to worry he would do something concerning, so I was fine with him going. I kind of knew what to expect, as his best friend told me: poker, clubbing, maybe going to a club for entertainment. When he came home, he told me that at the end of the night, his friends wanted to gift him a special massage, so he went because he wanted to see what the fuss was about. He told me he had to choose between a few women, and that nothing happened except she gave him a massage while unclothed. Obviously, I was upset because I didn't expect him to do something like this. I can't blame his friends because they all asked beforehand, and it was my boyfriend's decision. We had a difficult conversation about what happened, with lots of crying from both of us. He kept telling me that it didn't mean anything, and that he realized he made the best choice by proposing to me, and he can't wait to spend the rest of our lives together. He was quite upset that he hurt me, and said he didn't think it would bother me that much since, to him, nothing significant happened. Later in the conversation, he confessed that he actually received a hand job from this woman, and I felt terrible because, first, he lied to me when I asked if anything happened, and second, the act itself. We had discussed boundaries years ago and agreed that this would cross a line. He said he has no idea what he was thinking and that he never intended to hurt me. We are supposed to get married in less than 2 weeks. Everything is set up, and people are coming from multiple countries to attend our wedding, yet I don't know if I should move forward with it. Could this have been just a mistake? And can we still save this relationship? Should we cancel the wedding? The gall to do this at your bachelor party 2 weeks before getting married is disgusting. This is awful. The fact that he initially lied about what happened only deepens the hurt. It's clear OP is grappling with shock, betrayal, and a swirl of what now emotions, especially with a massive life event looming. OP's question about whether this could be a mistake and whether the relationship can be saved is one that many people in similar situations ask themselves. Healing and rebuilding trust take time, honesty, and often professional help. It's also essential for OP to put her needs and feelings first, regardless of external pressures. This isn't just about the act itself, but about whether OP can fully forgive and whether her partner is willing to show through actions, not just words, that he's committed to making things right. Life once said, he wanted to see what the fuss was about. He found out. User Kubu Bud said, it would have been extremely easy for him to tell his friends that he didn't want to risk his marriage by getting the massage, and to offer it to a single, most desirous, or most desperate friend instead. He made a choice, and then he lied to your face. He knew exactly what he was doing. This third and final story is titled AITA for telling my mom she is also to blame for why my brother and I won't host our parents for the holidays. Last Christmas was my brother's first holiday not living at home with our parents. He wanted to host everyone in his new apartment. Also, around this time last year, my parents had mutually agreed not to get each other gifts as they were focusing on paying off some debt. Apparently, there was some miscommunication. My dad thought this meant no gifts at all. My mom thought it meant no gifts, but they would still exchange stockings. In our family, stockings always contain small items body care, candy. You get the picture. I was living with my parents last year and had heard all the discussions. I honestly saw both sides. On Christmas morning, we all woke up and mom didn't have her stocking filled by dad. She was very quiet but clearly hurt. He ran out to the pharmacy and quickly bought some things to fill her stocking, saying he was sorry. Now, should my dad have communicated better? Sure. Do I understand my mom's hurt in the situation? Also sure. But I thought they'd be able to swallow it all for lunch at my brother's. We went, and my dad was doing his best to make up for his blunder. My mom was in a terrible mood and kept picking at him all day long. Toward the end of our time there, she ended up making a snarky remark about my dad not filling her stocking. My dad lost his temper and started screaming that nothing he does is enough, then stormed out. My brother was clearly upset by having Christmas ruined by their arguing. I convinced my mom we should leave not long after. My brother and I were upset with both of them. My dad shouldn't have flipped out and screamed. My mom also should have kept her comments to herself or spoken to my dad later. My brother was embarrassed as his roommate had come home, and while he was in his room, he overheard the arguing. My brother stopped having my parents over altogether after that, though he would still invite me. My brother would also visit us at my parents' place. Thanksgiving is fast approaching, and we were all trying to coordinate plans. I recently got my own place, but honestly don't want to host after last year. My brother said he's never hosting another holiday at his apartment again. My mom was hurt by this, but eventually, we all just planned to have dinner at my parents' place. Later on, my mom was complaining to me that my brother won't have us over anymore, feeling pushed out. She said it was my dad's fault and that she shouldn't be punished. I told her that while my dad was wrong for screaming, she chose to be whiny all day long. I clarified that I understood her hurt, but she also partially ruined the day by not letting it go. My mom got mad at me and accused me of taking sides. I said, I'm not. If dad complained, I'd tell him the same, but he seems to understand that he ruined it. I also pointed out that neither of them ever apologized to my brother, and I'm not confident they'd never do it again. My mom says I'm in the wrong for how I spoke to her. Am I the ass here? Edit. Because of course, everyone's favorite game is let's play devil's advocate. This is not my parents' first time having an argument like this. In the past, it hasn't been about Christmas, but about other stuff. They hate each other, but stay married because they cannot afford to divorce and live separately. Their screaming matches are constant and have ruined other family events. We've suggested therapy, and they won't go. They want to stay trapped and miserable. Yet, when my brother and I bickered about stupid stuff as kids, they'd scream at us for ruining their peace. We're at the point where they don't get to do this without consequences. This is the consequence. For those saying I shouldn't blame my dad as much as I do in this post, the main reason I hold him at 50% is that he started screaming. If he had just remained quiet and spoken to my mom later, he wouldn't be held to the same degree. Because he screamed and refused to take accountability for his tantrum, he goes up here too. But I agree, without that, my mom is more at fault. Thank you to those who actually listened and paid attention. Even if I didn't agree with what you said, you didn't try to play stupid devil's advocate and make the story into something it wasn't.